The rationale of Muhurat or election consists in appreciating the importance of time factor in all human undertakings. It is an admitted fact that all source of life and terrestrial activities is the sun. Forces emanating from this glorious body vary in intensity and influence as a result of their contact with other celestial bodies. Man is himself a bundle of electrical current, and therefore there is always a sort of interaction between planetary forces and those incessantly radiated by man. Muhurat is meant that valuable moment where there is a greatest harmony or resonance between human and stellar radiation. Horoscope is diagnostic. Muhurat or election astrology is preventive or prescriptive. It sets at naught the theory of absolute determinism and gives scope for the display of violation within reasonable limits. Therefore, even if affliction exists in birth horoscope, they can be neutralized or at least lessened by recourse to Muhurat. In modern times, travel facilities have no doubt been perfected, and so far as human conception go, the traveler is provided with every possible facility. But because the astrology rules are ignored, there have been serious accident and appalling loss of life. Man is incessantly subject to the bombardment of different kinds of forces emanating from planets and the interstellar spaces. The nature of the force operating at any given moment depends upon the nature of the disposition of the different planets and constellation at the moment concerned. Hence, it can be safely pointed out that a journey undertaking a prosperous moment would enable the person to consummate the object in view and get back safely to his home. If a journey is undertaken in the following constellation, the person is supposed to return back early after satisfactorily completing his work. These are Mrikshira, Ashwini, Pushya, Punarvasu, Hast, Anuradha, Shravan, Mool, Dhanishta and Revati. No journey should be undertaken on days ruled by these constellations: Kritika, Bharani, Ashlesha, Vishakha, Pova, Purva Bhadrapada and Adra. Further, I move on to my research on constellation. I want to clarify to my viewers that this research is conducted using only a single attribute of panchang, that is Nakshatra. I am not considering any other attributes. I want to show you how the Nakshatra works both very well and very poor. As I am doing research on constellation, it gives me a sense of pride in ancient Indian astrologers who researched astronomy and documented all the facts about planet, zodiac signs and constellations. Let me start with this video with the world's first successful space mission. On October 4th, 1957 at 19th hours 28 minutes and 30 seconds Universal Time, Sputnik first launched from the USSR Baikonur Constellation and entered Earth's orbit, becoming the first human-made object to enter space. The aluminum alloy sphere orbited our planet 1,440 times over 21 days before losing its signal and, most importantly, brought the entire world into the space age. According to Indian astrology, this period of time was under the influence of the constellation Revati, which is known for its soft precision. This constellation is auspicious for traveling on water, on roads and space. For those looking to buy vehicles, this is the best constellation for purchasing in Vedic astrology. I examined the constellation for first Indian in space. Yes, this was squadron leader Rakesh Sharma. In 1984, he became the first Indian citizen to enter space when he flew aboard the Soviet rocket Soyuz T-11 launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome in the Kazakh Soviet Socialist Republic. The launch time of this spacecraft was April 3rd, 1984 at 13 hours 8 minutes Universal Time. I created an event chart to explore which constellation was dominant at this time. I found Pushya Nakshatra. As you can see in this event chart, the Pushya constellation is auspicious for traveling. Among other activities attributed to this constellation by ancient scientific astrologers. By the way, Pushya Nakshatra is considered the best for starting anything. Until now, I have shed light on examples where work has been done during the period of the constellation for which they have the authority to pass. Now, I am showing an example of when a constellation is not authorized to perform a specified task and how the task goes in vain. On June 5th, 2024, at 14 hours 52 minutes 15 seconds in Cape Canaveral, Florida, USA, the Boeing Starliner spacecraft carried NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore to space for a short 8-day mission. However, it has been 150 days since the launch, and the two astronauts have yet to return. This is a good example of non-authorization of a nakshatra. For this launching time, I created an event chart and discovered interesting facts. The time period was under the influence of Hast Nakshatra, which is also referred to as a Mandaksh Nakshatra. Mandaksh means weak eye. In election astrology, it is believed that items lost on a Mandaksh Nakshatra day will return or be found after a considerable effort, although it is not easy to obtain these items. In this case, she rode on a spacecraft on this Nakshatra day and is now stuck in space with the date of her return journey remaining undecided. There are two additional reasons for her failure to return. The first reason relates to a combination of planets, zodiac signs, and constellation that occurred on this date. Hast Nakshatra becomes Ghat Nakshatra when the moon occupies the Taurus zodiac sign. At the time of her journey to space, the sun and moon were traveling in Taurus and Hast Nakshatra was present that day. The second reason involves another combination related to the time of day and Hast Nakshatra. According to ancient Indian election astrology, if one travels in the afternoon under Hast Nakshatra, the outcome of the trip is negative. This has proven to be true. This combination caused technical problems with the Boeing Starliner, which left NASA unable to proceed with their plans. Now, I am taking the time when Pakistan attacked India in 1965 and see how Pakistan got defeated and lost their land only because India was under the influence of a constellation known for recovery of lost things and expansion. I created a chart on the date when the Pakistan attacked the line of control and entered India. The day was influenced by two constellations, Pushya and Vishakha. Both constellations are considered blind nakshatra. If anything is destroyed and lost, it can be recovered easily without too much effort. I created the chart for India. Pushya Nakshatra is best for dealing with the enemies because they are at their weakest during Pushya and cannot cause much harm. Pushya Nakshatra belongs to the warrior caste. Now you will be astonished to hear about the qualities of Pushya Nakshatra. While Pushya is an upward-looking constellation, on the other hand, Vishakha is downward-looking constellation. As an upward-looking constellation, Pushya maintains its natural, expansive nature, and this nakshatra signifies increase and expansion. Planets or the ascendant, according to the subject, placed in Pushya usually signify increase and expansion relating to the areas in the chart governed by the planet. Vishakha, being a downward nakshatra, signifies acquiring things that requires an argumentative approach, harsh activities in general, and any activity requiring a strong mental focus. Since Vishakha is downward nakshatra, it approaches achieving goals in secretive and underhanded manner. with most of its real intent and activities concealed from the others. This resulted in India acquiring 3,900 square kilometers of Pakistani territory in this war. This is perfect proof of the characteristics of Pushya and Vishakha Nakshatra as elaborated by our ancient Indian astrologers. Now I am taking the time when China attacked India in 1962 and see why India got defeated and lost their land because India was under the influence of a constellation known for lost things through the lack of a strong mental capacity or strong willpower. On October 20, 1962, China attacked the Indian part of Ladakh. In this war, India lost 43,000 square kilometers of land to China, including Aksai Chin region of the Ladakh. On this date, the Punarvasu constellation was ruling. Punarvasu is a nakshatra where the interplay of the mental and emotion is at its most fascinating, as both possesses equal strength. Punarvasu usually lacks strong mental capacity and foresight and has a much simpler approach to life. This constellation often results in an inward orientation that gives them a lack of drive and focus required to attain their goal. Many Punarvasu natives can be heard saying statements like, "What is the use and why bother?" They often tend to fail or not fare well in their first attempt at any pursuit. But the best part of this nakshatra is that they almost always succeed if they try a second time. It is the level constellation, meaning it neither too expansive or not too contracting. In other words, they possess a sense of balance and reasonableness due to their timidness. I believe this was the reason why India lost its land due to the weak will of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. If he had sought a second chance, there might have been a possibility of regaining the land. On 25th June 1975, the decision to impose a national emergency in India by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was influenced by a combination of the transiting moon in the Uttarashada Nakshatra. In the birth chart of the Republic of India, the Lord of 4th house is Mercury. I am exploring how democracy was victimized by analyzing the 4th house, its Lord and the Moon, which signifies the common people in mundane astrology. The 4th house represents the homeland, opposition parties, the throne of the king, and the democratic movements. On 25 June, Mercury was transiting in Rohini Nakshatra but was combust with the Ketu in Kritika Nakshatra. The interesting fact is that Ketu, which signifies destruction, dominated Mercury's beneficial activities such as the intellectual caliber of the country, means of communication, publication, newspaper, TV and media, and mingled with the Kritika Nakshatra. Now, Kritika Nakshatra has played a special role in destroying democracy and establishing a national emergency. Kritika Nakshatra is keen on making swift changes, sudden endings, courage, leadership, executive ability, making important decisions, and engaging in police or military activities, standing up for oneself. As it is a downward nakshatra, it is more interested in its penetrative nature, always seeking to uncover what is going on below the surface. Kritika is mixed nakshatra. Its sharper side indulges in sharper action like attacks, wars, and battles. Kritika usually employs its sharper side for commanding purposes. The moon was transiting in Uttarashada Nakshatra. The orientation of this nakshatra is Abbat, and Abbat Nakshatra is known for progress over time. The common people, represented by the moon, had to suffer due to the activity of this nakshatra. On one hand, democracy was destroyed and dictatorship was ruling over the common people. Dictatorship progressed over time due to the Abbat Nakshatra Uttarashada, whose activities include acting authoritatively and transitioning from democracy to dictatorship. When Mr. Narendra Damodar Modi took the oath of Prime Minister of India for the first time, Vishakha ruled during the period of oath ceremony. Vishakha is considered to be an active nakshatra. The pursuit of any goal requires constant activity. Vishaka is one of the most active nakshatra because of its obsessive approach to things. After attaining its desired goal, it sets itself another goal, and so on. Its activity is ceaseless. This was probably the reason why Mr. Modi could not explain some of the bad things his government has done. Vishaka is downward nakshatra in orientation and thus has a lot of ambition regarding its role in the world. I found that the movie Dangal was an all-time blockbuster with worldwide gross revenue. The movie Dangal was released on 23rd December 2016 worldwide. The total revenue of this movie exceeded 2000 crore. What was the combination of celestial bodies? I am pointing to one. I found an association with the Chitra Nakshatra, which is known for creativity and is also associated with good performance. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this research work. If you would like to see a video on any other topic in astrology, please let me know in the comments. To help spread the word about the advancements in Indian astrology, I kindly request you to share this video with your friends and family. Thank you.